tonight confront Delhi police in national capital after two of their own were roughed up and allegedly molested by cops. Demand suspension of airing cops along with written assurance that action will be taken.
And people are sneaking in and sneaking out. So naturally, the people have to be stopped there. Who is male, who is in that kind of situation, to get to know that what was the intention and how it happened. That is why the inquiry is...
24 hours after cops manhandled journalists, Delhi police brazens it out. Police give shocking excuses that they had to maintain law and order. Karnataka government's religion card backfires. Lingayat subsect oppose the religious minority status, accuse state of betraying them. Class 12 student forced to end life accuses neighbors of molestation in her suicide note. Teacher who assaulted a class 4 student at a government school in J&K suspended, FIR filed. School also constitutes a special committee to probe the incident after Mirror Now's report. Good evening. Good to have you with us on Mirror Now. We've got a big story tonight. Journalists across the country are outraged and disappointed by the behavior of the Delhi police. Earlier in the day, they united to protest against Delhi police headquarters because yesterday, two journalists were manhandled. One video journalist was allegedly also molested. Her clothes pulled, assaulted by cops. This was during the protests by JNU students. While the journalist was doing her duty of covering the protest, she was manhandled. Shocking videos have surfaced that clearly put Delhi police in a tight spot. All that the journalists and the media is demanding this evening is suspension of airing officers and a written assurance that the action will be taken. Unfortunately, it's been over 24 hours and the Delhi police hasn't even done so much. Let's go across to Apurva, who's outside Delhi police headquarters where journalists were protesting for the past 2-3 hours. Apurva, this is shameful, the kind of response we've seen from the Delhi police. Not only did they assault and manhandle journalists yesterday, now they're brazening it out and giving us excuses for it.
Absolutely, and in fact, we just heard the special CP Traffic, Dipender Pathak, also in fact talked to the media, and while he has brazened it out, he's saying that there is going to be an investigation inquiry into this, but his main contention has been, and while we were all listening to him, his main contention has been that it was a mass crowd that was there, which was unimaginable, and they couldn't maintain it, and while they were breaking barricades and going forward, at that time it was very difficult for them to really figure out who really a journalist was or who is a protester. That is the defense that is really coming in, and we kept asking him, how is it that when a journalist is showing her press card, she has a camera in her hand, how did the police even mistake that person to be a protester and not a journalist? Now joining me right now is Aditi Tandon, General Secretary of the Indian Women Press Corps. We have heard these things, we just heard Dipender Pathak, we heard Madhur Verma also speak to you, to the entire press community here. Do you think the assurances that they're giving are any good at this point, considering there have been multiple instances that have happened?
I can't agree more with you on this because the assurances which Mr. Dipender Pathak gave us were not very convincing. Before Mr. Dipender Pathak, somebody else came and he was also representing Delhi Police, and we were told that the Commissioner of Delhi Police had assured an FIR in the matter. So at that time we told them that please bring a copy of the FIR so that we can see the FIRs and disperse from here. We are peaceful protesters. All we are asking is for the law of the land to take its course. 2 women journalists have been manhandled. One of them has been molested. 24 hours have passed. What is the police doing about it? You keep changing the laws of the country, and every law, especially the law of molestation, says that the moment a woman goes to the police station and says, I've been molested, you jolly well, record her statement and register an FIR. What is the inquiry? I don't understand.
Ma'am, you personally have spoken to both the journalists in question who've been assaulted and molested. First of all, what has been their statement when they've spoken to you, and also what was the ordeal that they had to go through when they themselves as a journalist had to go to the police station and file a complaint which took them such a long time?
So these are two women journalists, I must say very brave women journalists. One of them is Anushri Fadnavis. She's from Bombay. She's only recently come to Delhi. She's very new to this city. Yesterday's protest march which she was covering was one of her first assignments.
Okay.
She was required to produce work at the end of the day, but she ends up getting manhandled in that protest. Her camera is stolen, broken, and she goes to the police station in Sarojini Naidu, registers a complaint. It has been almost 18 hours since she reported her matter. No camera has been given to her. No FIR has been lodged against anybody. The second girl is our friend from Indian Express. I would not like to name her on camera. She was molested by an SHO, she says. Because the police carries badges, so you can make out who's molesting you. She's registered a complaint with the same police station, Sarojini Nagar. She has named that SHO. What does the anti-rape law of the country say? The anti-rape law says you register an FIR. Any police officer not registering an FIR of molestation goes to jail for 6 months. That is the law. Here you are encountering a situation where the policeman is accused of molestation. Delhi police comes and tells us that we are inquiring into the matter. What is there to inquire about? If a woman is saying she's been molested, that is the FIR. No, you have to do the inquiry after the FIR. But all right, if they've told us, they've given us solid assurance. Mr. Pathak has said give us 2 days. Okay, you take 2 days, no problem. We are not here to create any ruckus. We are not going to, there was a suggestion, let's block traffic. No, none of us agreed to that because our purpose is not to block traffic or harm the public. We are peacefully protesting. So 2 days we are giving to Delhi police, and if nothing happens, we are meeting again on Monday, 1 p.m. Then we are going to go and petition the Home Minister of India because Delhi police comes under him.
One final question, ma'am. We've been hearing the Delhi police come out with such defense every time such an incident takes place. Now, isn't it equally the responsibility of the Delhi police at that time to provide security to the journalists, because there is a mandate, this is an advisory by the MHA to provide security to journalists at such a volatile protest or such volatile situations?
Exactly my point. You've stolen my words, you've read my mind. That is exactly what we are saying. Journalist is doing her or his duty, okay? We are called the 4th pillars of democracy. What are we doing? We are recording an event for posterity. We are creating history with every event that we cover. We are recording, we are chroniclers of history. If you prevent us from doing our job, how are you ever going to safeguard democracy in this country? Somebody has to answer that question. And this police officer comes and says that there was a lot of, agitation, there was too much crowd management became difficult, there are complaints, counter complaints. For heaven's sake, this is not the first time people are protesting on the roads in anywhere in the world. Don't you know your job?
But ma'am, there are also allegations from the eyewitness who we were speaking to that they were forcefully asked to even shut their cameras when the protests were beginning. And now when we were raising the same point with Mr. Dipender Pathak, which has been completely denied. So clearly there is some way the police are also in a way attempting to even shield the media from covering the true events.
See, I just want to make a very small point here. It can be any protest tomorrow, whether it is being carried out by JNU students against somebody or by anybody against anybody. Protest is a news event which every journalist is bound to cover. We are asked by our organizations, go and cover the protest. At that time, it's the responsibility of the police to maintain peace and order. Police has all the wherewithal, police has the equipment, police has weapons, police has tear gas. Why don't you resort to other means? You cannot, start beating up people. Beating up journalists on the roads. If this is what journalists have to go through to get FIRs registered, I don't understand what a common man must be going through.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to us and sharing your valuable inputs. Those, of course, echoing the sentiments of all these journalists who are present here, all reiterating the same demand of how they need to go ahead and register that FIR, which has been pending. Secondly, the SHO in this case who've been accused of molesting a female journalist, and also the police personnel who manhandled the HT journalist should also be immediately sacked, booked, and those are the demands that are really coming. But right now, the police have asked for 2 days to complete the inquiry, following which they said they will take some kind of action if it warrants. Back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Apurva, and thanks also bringing us, big voices on this story. Now, earlier, a short while ago, we also spoke with one of the other journalists who was present there, also covering the event yesterday. He's an eyewitness to what really happened. So while we'll also play out police's version to you, let's listen into what this journalist told us about what happened on Saturday.
दिल्ली पुलिस बिल्कुल भी सुनने की मूड में नहीं थी। जो हम क्योंकि मेल फोटो जर्नलिस्ट थे, तो हमें तो रोक के पकड़ के उन्होंने बोल दिया कि मारेंगे पकड़ के। पर ये अनुश्री को उन्होंने, हम देख रहे थे कि बहुत सारी फीमेल कांस्टेबल्स थी और कुछ मेल पुलिस कांस्टेबल्स भी थे जो खींच रहे थे, और उनको उसके कपड़े भी खींच रहे थे। बाद में कैमरा भी खींच के वो ले गए।
बहुत बार बोलने के बाद भी उन्होंने आईडी कार्ड दिखाया, सब कुछ दिखाया।
वो बोलती रही कि मैं हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स की फोटो जर्नलिस्ट हूँ, बट उन्होंने साफ मना कर दिया कि नहीं, हमें नहीं पता। आप उनसे उनका कैमरा छीन लिया।
जिस तरीके से एक बहुत ही शर्मनाक डिफेंस जो दिल्ली पुलिस अभी दे रही है कि उन्हें पता ही नहीं था कि वो जर्नलिस्ट थी या फिर वो प्रोटेस्टर थी।
वो साफ बोल रही थी, हम सुन रहे थे। वो कह रही थी कि मैं जर्नलिस्ट हूँ, बट उन्होंने साफ मना कर दिया कि नहीं, कोई भी किसी भी फोटोग्राफर को यहाँ पे अलाउ नहीं है, किसी भी जर्नलिस्ट को अलाउ नहीं है, और इस तरह से इन्होंने मैन हैंडल किया।
Well, like Apurva was pointing out that Dipendra Pathak, the CPR, also came and spoke with the media. But before I actually play out his series of excuses that he presented to us, let's also say good evening to the guests who are joining us this evening. I've got Uday Sahai, former IPS officer, joining us this evening. Also senior journalist Neeta Chaudhary. Neeta Chaudhary, I want to come to you first. And want to know from you. You were also present there earlier in the day where the media was protesting. I am personally very shocked and disappointed with the kind of response we've got from the Delhi police, not only for the event that took place yesterday, but since then in the past 24 hours, the way they have responded.
I think, given the gravity of what happened yesterday, and I think we should understand why it is so serious what happened yesterday. To have the media attacked and beaten by the police that is the representatives of the state, that state which is supposed to defend the media and the citizen, the media to do its legitimate duty. I keep saying this, the media are not upstarts. We are doing our role, we are performing our role in a democracy. And during the performance of that role, if you come under attack by the representatives of the state, that is serious business in a democracy. And that's what worries me. I was telling friends, I've been in journalism for 40 years doing political coverage. And during turbulent times, we have gone home at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, driving alone as a woman. And I didn't feel unsafe over the years. But these days I feel unsafe because, it's not another citizen that's going to attack you. Will the police, will the defenders of the law, those who are supposed to protect there, who are paid to protect there, are they going to attack you? Now, that is what makes it a very grave thing, what happens. That, and then the other thing I feel is, women photographers, they are iconic. They should have our respect, the respect of the country. To get where they've got, carrying those heavy cameras, they've broken new ground to be able to do what they do for us, bring those images into our drawing rooms. But instead of that respect, what did you get yesterday? And you confiscated their cameras, and if those allegations of molestation are true, I mean, shame on us if that is what is happening in the capital of India today. you know, it makes you very, very concerned. It's serious business. Because of that, the Delhi police should have responded much more expeditiously, much more sensitively, come out, you know, where the journalists were protesting. And let me say, the journalists were very, very angry, and rightly so.
Yes.
And to talk to them. But it's been very, of course, an apology. We are thankful for that apology. I say that with all humility. But apology becomes meaningful when you follow it up with action. Not otherwise.
Even
Otherwise,
that apology,
and what action
Mr.
is the Delhi
Chaudhary,
police
because
going
we
to
have a
take
video.
against those who are guilty.
We have a video from last night where the conversation between the complainant, the journalist, and cops is happening, and where the cop in question is apologizing. But the intent of that entire conversation from the police's end seems to be, don't file the complaint. Let us just apologize to you for what happened and let this be. That attitude is very concerning. To turn around and not take that complaint from the journalist, she was till late hours at the police station. The FIR has still not been filed. These are very, very concerning points as well. And this comes across even in the statements that were made by Dipender Pathak on behalf of the police force today. Let's listen to what he told the media, the series of excuses that he gave us.
Like my suggestion now, which is coming out of this situation, press banner should be there. Because otherwise it becomes very, very difficult. Because the students and the journalists, almost it is very, very difficult to find out who is there. And 5,000, when 5,000 people are there, so try to understand the nuances of the field condition. There is a pandemonium, people are sneaking in and sneaking out. So naturally the people have to be stopped there. Who is male, who is in that kind of situation, to get to know that what was the intention and how it happened. That is why the inquiry.
So Desai, I want to come to you on the point of first what happened yesterday. We have a video of it where there is one lady journalist, the photojournalist, who is being manhandled. She's surrounded by about 6 to 7 cops, most of them lady cops. She gets slapped, pulled and pushed. In nowhere in that entire frame where you can see that entire street are the protests happening, because the protesters are across the street where you can hear the sound of the water cannons also being used. Is this not proof enough for suspension of those cops, Mr. Sahai?
Well, first of all, it's an unfortunate incident. I was not on the location of the protest, so it's very difficult to sit on judgment and say that this is what it was. But then the fact that the commissioner has already assured that a FIR will be registered, it could have been done earlier, but even now, better late than never, they have decided to lodge an FIR. They should lodge an FIR, quickly conduct an inquiry, an investigation, and take the case to a logical conclusion. This is what best they can do, but do it fast.
No, but when there are allegations of molestation, when there are serious allegations of police assaulting and manhandling any citizen, let alone the fact that she was a journalist doing her job over there, isn't the protocol to respond immediately, file that FIR when the complaint is made, take in that complaint?
Well, there's no protocol on this as such, no laid down procedure that what do you do in a law and order situation, in a heated situation, when some kind of a tussle has taken place between two groups. There's no clear-cut laid down procedure in a grey situation like this. But then the fact remains that if there is a complaint, it should be registered, and even if they have taken time, at least now Commissioner, because I know Commissioner's gender sensitivity level, I've worked with him, so therefore I have no reasons to feel that he is insensitive on this. But certainly there is a principle of natural justice. Even if there is an allegation against himself, he would like to follow the due process of law, but then that due process should happen fast. And I expect that Delhi police does this quickly and expeditiously, at least now.
Well, this is what the Delhi police is telling us, that there has been no action yet. They are inquiring into the matter. They want another 2 days to inquire into this matter before they can decide what action has to be taken. The allegation also is that the journalist's camera was taken away from her. That's not been returned. The police claims the camera is lost. And the biggest excuse, Neerja Chaudhary, that these personnel, police personnel, were there to maintain law and order, and which is why this incident takes place. If that is what is being told to us, then should journalists stop covering protests completely, or stop covering riots? Because not only is the police unable to protect us, they are in fact the ones who are harming us.
This is the whole point of this. And I think, you know, this, we, as you say, women photographers, journalists, we go to, these journalists and photographers have gone to the Kargil war, they've gone to the fronts, as you say, to earthquake hit areas, they go into danger zones. And they don't think twice about it, because there are the people who are going to protect you. But now in the capital of the country, there is a student protest. Protests are a dime a dozen in a democracy. Are you going to be at the receiving end of all this? And I tell you why speedy action is very necessary. Because a message must go down the line to the police force and others that this kind of treatment is absolutely, absolutely unacceptable. That is the message that needs to go. That's why we are calling for speedy action, quick action. Now it's fair, natural justice, okay? Conduct the inquiry, conduct it in a time-bound manner. By what time, on which day will your inquiry be ready and action forthcoming?
Yes.
The Delhi police has not come out with any of that. Inquiries can go on
They didn't even file the FIR for the first 24 hours. The girl in that video, and I have Ramakant Gaur also on the phone line with me, but before I go to him, I want to play out this excerpt of this video that we've accessed, where the cops are trying to convince the journalists that it was unintentional, and then they're sorry about it. Sorry doesn't cut the ice here. There has to be action against people who've clearly assaulted a citizen and crossed the line. Let's see if we can play out that excerpt of this sham apology, all because they don't want that complaint to be filed.
एक बार आप पहली बार करते हैं तो हम आपको नहीं बोलते, हम आपको बोल चुके थे, हम जर्नलिस्ट हैं, आप दूसरी बार आए और आपने फिर से
सारे लोग कैमरे लिए घूम रहे थे, इसलिए हम तो सभी को कर रहे हैं।
मुझे कंप्लेंट फाइल करनी है, प्लीज बता दीजिए कहाँ करना है।
नहीं मैम, इसकी बात
तो फिर ये कॉन्वर्सेशन को खींचने का कोई पॉइंट नहीं है ना, कॉन्वर्सेशन तो हो गई जितनी होनी थी।
और मुझे हमको जाके अपनी स्टोरीज भी फाइल करनी है, तो आप प्लीज इसको रिसीविंग दे दीजिए।
That's the reaction. They're clearly not very happy about the fact that the complaint is being filed. Ramakant Gaur, good evening. Thank you for speaking to us. It's a very, very serious issue when protectors of law, when protectors of the citizens, in fact, turn around and become the assaulters. When they fail to not just contain a protest, but also fail to protect the media and assault the media. Are you satisfied with the assurances that the police has given? It's been 24 hours and we've not seen any kind of action on ground.
See, this is a clear-cut case of Rakshak Bane Bhakshak. If they are dealing with a particular section of the, educated class who is aware of their rights, duties and responsibilities, if this kind of inaction is being shown, then what can we expect? Here is a case where IPS Madhur Verma accepts that this is an unfortunate incident. Delhi police is always extremely sensitive towards our media friends. It was an accidental happening. What does that mean? There is nothing which is called accidental happening. You are being told that they are journalists. They are covering the event. Even otherwise, you are insensitive towards dealing with a common human being. So, it is a criminal offense. Register a case. Take action against the policemen who are guilty, who are accused of this. What is the meaning of inquiry? When there is an admission by the people, by the concerned staff, the police official, that this accident happened, they name it as accident. If this has happened, then why an action is not being taken? That is something appalling here.
Let me take that point across to Mr. Sai. Mr. Sai, do you believe that first the FIR should have been filed and then the police could have gone on with their this inquiry and the investigation into what exactly took place?
Technically speaking, what Mr. Gaur is saying, one cannot find fault with what he is saying, but it is a situation where in all such crimes you see the intent. And the lady cops, there are two separate incidents happening, and there are two separate allegations made out. In situation one, as I could see from your video, it is evident that these lady cops have grouped together to resist or stop the woman reporter filing or taking photographs. This is incident one, and incident two is there's no video that I have seen so far. So in the first instance, unless you identify the exact elements of molestation and who have done it, there is a complainant, no doubt. These ladies are there, no doubt. But the lady molesting another lady photographer, you know, I mean, you should go to the spirit of the law. It's not that simple. So they are applying their mind to come to that, but they should do it quickly. The point is that if there is a delay, there is a concern, there is an anxiety, and rightly so. To that extent, I understand fully. But to say that mechanically you register a case in a law and order situation, in all law and order situations there are scuffles. This is a very different kind of situation where the women cops have been found to be resisting, stopping, or maybe
might
even
I also just add, Mr. Sai, like you very rightly said,
we are mixing it up.
There are two different points here. The molestation charge is against a male cop, an SHO who was also present at that point of time. The video that we played out from last night is where he is present. He's apologizing and he's saying what he did was not intentional. But for all of that to really come out, and this is the other video where the alleged incident seemed to have taken place. You can see that cop in that other video. The point is, for that investigation to take place, the police should have accepted the complaint. They took their time to do that. The journalist was very insistent, but the police tried their best to convince her to not do it and let the matter go. And that, I don't believe, is the right way to go about this. If the police start telling people, no, just let it be, let's finish this matter off right now, then where are we going to go for justice? And where are we going to go for a proper, fair investigation to take place? I'm completely running out of time here. The story is not over yet because the action is yet to be taken. They have assured us that an inquiry will take place within the next 2 days. But what has happened in the past 24 hours is appalling. I have in my hands a circular from the Home Ministry dated October 2017 that reminds all states and all departments that it is the duty of the state to ensure safety and security of journalists, who ensure that the fourth estate discharges the key role that they play in our country and in our society. And I think Delhi Police and its commissioner and their top officials need that reminder tonight, because they are giving us series of excuses from it was a law and order situation where students went berserk, the protesters went berserk because the protesters and the journalists are all young, they look alike, the police couldn't make out the difference, perhaps the journalists should start wearing identification cards. All of that doesn't count, it's irrelevant. You attacked a citizen of this country, snatched away her camera, assaulted her, allegedly molested her. There is no excuse for this when you are wearing the uniform. Thank you to all our panelists for joining us this evening. We keep a close track of this story. Thank you, viewers.